Perfect.
We're on.
We're on.
I need engineers that take to change light bulbs.
Exactly. Well, it's a good working solution, that. Right. Anyone want a drink? Wait before we start?
Go on.
Okay. So, my name is Chris Hillidge. I'm the assistant principal here at the school, and John has invited me to talk about the future of education and the way that I see it. So,
We're going to have to do some editing.
we're just doing something in here. Just give us 10-15 minutes for you. Is that all right?
Yeah.
You're welcome to stay and listen. We're just doing.
It's all Saeed's fault.
So, in terms of STEM agenda in schools, colleges, universities is huge. We haven't got enough STEM graduates, and we need to kind of plan for the future. So we're here in Warrington. If you're familiar with the area, we're sat in the middle of a very economically deprived area. Not Warrington itself. Warrington's relatively affluent, but the estate that the school serves, the area, the immediate area, is extremely kind of socially deprived. One of the most socially deprived areas in the country. However, we're surrounded by some of the best tech STEM industry in the UK and in the world. You think about over at Daresbury, down to the south of the town. You think about Birchwood and all the kind of niche industries that surround the town. There's a lot of very good stuff going on. What we found in the school was that we weren't setting our kids up to go and proceed into those industries. Our kids were taking the technician level jobs further down, and even our cleverest kids weren't making those steps into the really well-paid, remunerated and enjoyable jobs. So we about 3 years ago we started to look at how we were going to make the difference in terms of getting our kids into those industries. One of the problems was our kids don't have the family link. So for example, if one of your kids wanted to go into engineering, I'm sure you'd have 1,000,001 links where you could get them a work placement or someone to talk to. Maybe the same for medicine or law or something like that. Our kids in this area don't have those connections, and so we decided that as a school we were going to provide those connections for those kids. So one of the first things we did was we looked at this, which is a quality mark across education, and it looks how well your educational establishment links with business, links with emerging technologies, and it's only generally held by universities, by large apprenticeship providers, and by 16 plus colleges. We're the only school in the country that holds STEM status. We're the only one in the area and the only one in the country that holds it. So Priestley College we were also linked with, so you'll see the term TCAP. We're a group of 4 schools, and one of the main kind of thrusts of what I'm going to talk about is the collaboration. I think the future of education lies in collaboration across industry, across all strands of education from 3 years old all the way up to adult. Say that again. The other schools are Penketh, Bottler, Bridgewater and us, and then we've got Priestley College who are in our group as well. We've got 2 primaries, Great Sankey and I can't remember the other one. One near Penketh East, so Penketh South. So we've kept it at that size. We've got a lot of schools that are very keen to join, but at the moment we want to get everything right with what we've got and then move forward. So my role is to develop STEM across all of those. That's 7,000 learners across those establishments. It's a lot of young people, and my job is to develop the STEM and their experience of STEM from that age of 3 all the way through to adulthood 19 plus. So that's my role. And the reason we went for this is it's a very in-depth process. It's like an Ofsted inspection almost. It's because it opened doors for us. We could go to Sellafield, we could go to United Utilities and say, look, we're not messing about. We've been through a process of accreditation. We have to be taken seriously, and it has certainly worked in that respect. If you've got kids or you're interested in the future for young people in general, then some of these stats and some of these kind of statements are quite damning in many ways. I need to read them out to you, but the last 2, particularly, I've got a daughter, I know that John's got a daughter, and the fact that nearly half of any pupils could think of any female role models in STEM is a bit of a disaster really for the country. And then the last one, certainly very much for my school and for other schools that are in our group, the fact that kids from a disadvantaged background are very much less likely to go on to a career or even to study STEM subjects past 16. And that's kind of what we're in the process of changing. And again, the initiatives, certainly from government, you look at the Northern Powerhouse, I know that talking to John, that Manchester is kind of tech capital of the UK probably now, and there is that push, but from our point of view, in influencing education, which is what we can do, looking at that 11 to 14 age group is where we either keep kids engaged in STEM or we lose them for good to to other careers and other industries. It's lighting a fire at that age that's really important. Third stat again, kids from a disadvantaged area don't have that network of support. And the fact that if we want to keep our best talent in this area, then what are we doing to actually support that? 68% who study higher education stay here, the rest are going elsewhere, a good chunk of them to London, which you might expect, but then when you look at the developments in Manchester and the fact that that is truly a world city now, we need to be doing better. And the fact that we can't fill STEM jobs, high-level STEM jobs in this area, we cannot fill them. And if we've got smart kids, why are we not pushing those smart kids towards those quality careers and putting the steps in between? So if you've been here this morning, and I know that John's been here plenty of times, and you guys have been here when the dojo's on, and Jeff's certainly been involved from the start, more or less. The Coda Dojo is a STEM kind of club. It runs once a month, but the idea is to get young kids and hook them into technology, hook them into STEM, hook them into engineering right from the very beginning. When they're very young, it involves the parents, but the best part of it is that our teachers come here. We have industry professionals coming here. So, for example, Aidy, a guy who teaches 3D kind of environments, worked on Lego Movie, worked on the Lego games. So he's genuinely a leader in his field. We've got other people who are experts in their field, and our teachers, there's a lot of cross-fertilisation between the teachers, and our teachers can then go back and be advocates to our kids for those careers, for those industries. And then, so just some images from the dojo, the kind of stuff, so the robotics, the idea that parents will work alongside the kids so they can have these conversations when they go home. The idea of kids leading, becoming leaders, becoming mentors is really important. So the picture at the bottom left there is a kid leading his own session in the dojo. And also the fact that getting girls switched on to these STEM industries and careers is vital to us. Using new technologies that get kids excited, so drone technology is really, really important. The kids, it really switches them on, but then the potential of drones, talking to John, some of the things that we're using drones for now, and in the next 20 years what we will use drones for is, it's going to be completely different to what we use them for now. They're going to be far more accepted in everyday life than they are currently. And again, the robotics, the kids that really switch our children on. And the creative side, getting the girls involved, the creative sides of engineering, the creative sides of technology. Because otherwise, if it's just, sweaty boys coding in the bedroom, then we lose the girls at a certain age, we know that. And if we don't introduce and make those links between creativity and technology, because out there in industry, as much as they want the tech skills and the engineering skills, you need those creativity skills. You need to be able to think creatively. Otherwise, you're going to be very limited in what you can do. And also the physics, the hard physics, and these are physicists from Daresbury who came over to talk about synchrotron and kind of particle acceleration and stuff. So we're kind of trying to link in the harder aspect that we don't have the facilities to really demonstrate in school. Yeah, exactly. And it's stuff that really gets the kids kind of switched on. I don't know where you're from. I know that some of you guys are from Warrington, some of you probably aren't. But in terms of the dojo, we're the biggest dojo in the world. The dojo is truly a worldwide organisation. 1,500 dojos, 75 countries, all those volunteers, 150,000 kids across the world. Warrington is the biggest one in the world. And because of that, because of the innovation we showed, last month we held the World Conference here. We had the conference for people from all over the world, Japan, Australia, all over Europe, travelled here to kind of learn best practice and kind of meet and share good ideas. So it was genuinely a coup for the town. We had to bid for that. And I think to have a school at the heart of that kind of development is really important because that's where the next generation is coming from. And if you've been to the dojo, you'll see that some of our best leaders, some of our best mentors are our children and their best ambassadors for the school. So these are just some images from the dojo. So on the picture on the top right there, just to kind of show the person who was presenting was a woman who'd flown in from Istanbul that morning. On the far side, the woman in the grey top had flown in from Japan. The woman in the middle is from Koda Dojo, Bulgaria, and the guy sat closest to us from Koda Dojo, Italy. So it was a genuinely kind of international event. They were learning about Arduinos. I don't know if you're familiar with Arduinos, but they were using Arduinos to control like a paper model, basically, which was...
One on desk.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So Arduino is just a microcomputer. So it's, you know, the kind of opportunities. That's Justina Mixoni, who's the CEO of Koda Dojo Foundation. You know, she mixes high-level business, high-level technology. The thing that got her most excited on the weekend was being able to print her own t-shirt. So it's amazing what switches people on. And then right in the middle of it, the CNC that you can hear going away in the never ever before happened, but set on fire. Well, we had 200 people here from all around the world. So, so we all went outside. They thought we'd done it on purpose to get a picture of them. So we did. We got a cool picture using the drone. So we took the drone up and got a great picture from the top there while we were trying to put the fire out and pretend that nothing was going wrong at all. So that was really good. Really good experience. But again, we talked about future education. These are the future of education. These are future leaders. You know, so on the left there we've got Billage, who's best ambassador for the school. We run a trip every 2 years to Boston to go visit MIT, Harvard, and the kids have got to raise all the money themselves. And Billage has just started raising his money to go in September 2018 next year. Kid on the right there, which is Pavel, who works at the dojo, very introvert, very much the coding type kid who we talked about, but kind of came to his own, came out of his own on there. If you've used the Fab Lab, you'll recognise some of these guys. So running the session bottom left there is Ruben, who kind of, his family more or less run the Fab Lab. Amazing ambassador, amazing leader, amazing mentor, very intelligent.
How old is he?
He's 13. Is he 14 now? Right, okay. And Amelia again, who's in the Fab Lab next door now. You know, some of our best kids are the ones who are kind of leading in the dojo. And you know, making it fun is really important. Mega Dojo, we had hundreds of kids here. It was absolute chaos. The picture on the right kind of sums it up for me. You can see the kind of wonder, the kind of awe in these kids' eyes. You can see it switching, it's lighting a fire, something is happening. And that's the kind of stuff that we want to do. And bringing in the science, bringing in international, getting these kids, you know, we might be going through Brexit, but our kids are going to live in an international world. They are going to, physical land borders are going to mean nothing in the digital age. Our kids will be operating worldwide, sending information, sharing information. And of course you know about the Fab Lab, you're users of the Fab Lab. We set that up probably about 9 months ago now. So the Fab Lab is it's open to the public. It's a complete fabrication suite from design. So you're looking at design there with John, all the way through to from design, taking it through to actually manufacturing. You'll have seen some of the projects in that I'll talk about in a sec. But if you look at the range of equipment that's open to the public, it's available to the public, you know, it genuinely is a full kind of workshop. It's, we run sessions on drones, we run sessions on coding, we run sessions on t-shirt printing, the creative side, 3D printing, you've seen, the laser cutting, the CNC, you've seen all that stuff. It's an amazing resource in what is a very kind of economically deprived area, as I've said again. And our job now is to build up that, to make it a more high profile. And you know, this is one of the things that John's doing now, he's giving it a genuinely kind of nationwide profile. It's the only Fab Lab in a school. We've got firm links with MIT, and you know, it's building those opportunities for our kids. Say again? Well, no, they don't send us any money. They send us some expertise, but they don't send us any money. There's because I use this presentation to talk to all the head teachers, and you know, this is John running his show now. You're sat in it, and you know, it's the only one now. Am I right in saying, John, in the UK? And I know that this will build into a really kind of solid resource for the kind of design community. I know that you know, this is the beginning of something special. And I know that John's got big plans to kind of create engineers to give those young people the opportunities that we've talked about. A couple of projects, you'll have seen this probably from, if you've been coming here a while, you've seen it go from a sketch to an animation to now there's a real kind of working prototype next door. Graham, who's a Bentley engineer, was chief design engineer at TBR. There's him working with our kids. We need to inspire the kids young, and they've seen this go from a drawing to a real thing, and they will see it on the market eventually. Hopefully within a year they'll see it on the market, and something that they've been very much involved with from the very start. Those are the kind of concrete things that switch kids on. You'll be familiar with our project on prosthetics. Again, Bronwyn, our master's student next door, working from Salford University. We now have a formal partnership with Salford University. We have a formal partnership with Balfour Beatty to roboticize and power the prosthetics as we go forwards with this project. You know what? That's genuinely changing people's lives, and it's a really good one with the kids because there's that emotional aspect, there's that change, you know, that the real side of technology.
When you got it done, well, it's a different kid.
Absolutely. It genuinely, you know, it is genuinely kind of changing lives. And some of the stuff that we do within the school and across our group of schools, United Utilities, huge Northwest employer. I think they're the biggest STEM employer in the country, I think. We've got lots of our kids working week on week with our engineers on real world projects. And that's the kind of thing that changes kids and switches them onto engineering. And the impact is real. If you look at just this school, since 2014 when we started building up the STEM stuff, there's been a 200% increase in kids going on to post-16 STEM qualifications. There's been a 100% increase in ex-students, our students, because they leave us at 16, going on to STEM degree level qualifications. And we've got an above average number of kids going on to STEM technical apprenticeships. This is a genuine pipeline of future-proofing STEM industries going on to quality jobs. Just to give you, put some faces, also this is a new project that we're doing. We've got an established expertise around STEM, around science, so in the near future we'll be providing all the teacher training, so we'll be bringing teachers here, showing them all the STEM stuff, showing them all the science stuff. I'll put some faces to those names. So the girl on the left, I taught her physics for 2 years, fantastic kid. She's 19 now, she's just started a chemical engineering degree at Liverpool University. Oops, sorry, let me go back. The thing that switched Ellie on to chemical engineering when she was 14, 15, when she was in year 10, we went out to Chester Uni and she met a female chemical engineer, and it was that kind of lit the fire inside her, that focused her studies, and that's what she focused on from that point. She knew what she wanted to do, and she left us at 16. She wanted to do A-levels at Priestley, chemical engineering at Liverpool Uni. The girl next to her, Molly, 17, we had Sellafield in, Young Engineers, Women in Engineering Day. She met some fantastic ambassadors from Sellafield. Again, it lit a fire in her. She decided at that point, she was 16 years old at the time, she wanted to do engineering. She's gone on to do Priestley, and she's looking at either process or mechanical engineering. Further down the line, we've got Zoe there, 16, just about to do her exams. She went on 2 placements last year. She went to, I think it was Rolls-Royce, and she went to Sellafield. We're looking at United Utilities this summer. She's very clear on that she's looking at United Utilities apprenticeship, a Sellafield apprenticeship, but to go on to be a software or a process engineer. And of course, if you come to the Fab Lab, you will know Ryan. Ryan left us before we started this kind of STEM project. He did games design, graphic design. He completed his foundation degree, and his aim is to progress to a London uni to do his graphic design. But he currently works for us here at Fab Lab Warrington. He's a fantastic ambassador. If we can hold on to him and we can find a way for him to do his degree while he's studying, while he's working for us rather, then we will do. So, that is it as far as I'm concerned. The future of education is in collaboration and working with different partners within industry, within education, and making those barriers disappear and putting the steps in place for kids to progress into fantastic careers. So it's all that to say. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I have a couple.
I'm sure you do, John.
Yeah. AR and VR are really coming on leaps and bounds, and it was only this morning up here that a guy from York University was asking to speak to us about AR and VR. Where do you see that fitting in with what you guys are doing? And I mean, I know we were talking today about
absolutely. So we do use AR and VR. We use them, but mainly at the moment it's as a bit of a gimmick. It's to kind of bit of enthusiasm around the project. I'm not sure we're at the stage yet in education where we could use it to with a group. You can use it with very small groups. I think if you're looking at engineering, the future of engineering is already probably moved into virtual reality. I know that Graham, who we talked about before, part of the car design process now has been revolutionised by the fact that they're using virtual reality rather than building a model and then the engineers testing that and going back several stages to change things. They're building a computer model that the engineers can go in, interact with in a virtual environment and change things before anything physical has even been produced. In terms of augmented reality, the way I see it with our students in terms of engineering, in terms of graphic design, in terms of the creative subject, is to see their project in a real environment before it's gone past the kind of prototype stage. So I think, oh, don't worry, it's fine. I think we're looking to start working with a company called Leon Reality that's very switched on to AR and VR in education. I think it's got a massive potential because you can put kids into an environment, sat in a classroom in Warrington, you can put kids into an environment and you can interact with people on the other side of the world or objects on the other side of the world in a physical way. In terms of stuff like haptic response and things like that when you're interacting with the subject, so at the moment in virtual reality there's a certain amount of feedback you get, but if you think about your phone when it buzzes when you touch, so you know you touch the button, as that develops, the haptic responses, that interactive process will be a lot more real. At the moment we use it for games, software design, but I think the potential in the future for those is massive. I think it's just waiting for that next jump forward, I think.
Brilliant, thank you. Any more questions?
So like, I've got a 6-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm bringing him instead today. He's getting into university.
Cool.
So, but he's going to be in a different school. He's in a St. Joseph school. So the next senior school will be 4 years.
Right. Okay.
But what's the next step for him?
So the next step for him, really, I suppose it depends on what the provision in terms of STEM at his school are. I mean, I would be lying to you if I said this school wasn't special in some way. The STEM stuff that we've got here is beyond any school that I'm aware of in the country. Certainly in terms of 11 to 16 school. But the reason why we opened the Fab Lab, and we've got big plans for the Fab Lab. The Fab Lab is still in its early stages, and we've got big plans to roll it out into a much larger project. So for kids in the area who don't have that STEM provision in school, every week, every Thursday night and every Saturday, this facility and all the expertise like you guys within it is available to them. So if he's got a project, if he's got something he wants to develop, then this is almost like school plus. He's got his school during the day. This is what he does when he really wants to do something that switches him on. And he comes and makes something or he designs something. Or he just comes and interacts with the guys here. There's a lot of expertise coming in and throughout the Fab Lab. The Fab Lab is a physical space. The dojo is a physical space with cool toys in it. What the real benefit is and the real learning is that sharing of ideas and the fact that you might get to interact with. I was saying to John when we had a chat on Thursday, just through the dojo we had the chief coding engineer for the EU who just happened to live near Daresbury, brought his kids in here. You wouldn't get the chance to interact with people like that unless these kind of places exist. Look at John, he's amazingly talented in the kind of in the CAD area, the CAM area and stuff like that. Again, I know you're pulling your face there, you might disagree, he's amazingly talented.
He's a PDM, I know. I don't work for anymore for him.
Yeah, he can pull his face all he wants now.
What you actually seen sense and left it.
But I think the main benefit of the Fab Lab, the main kind of, you've got that synergy between the people who this is what they're interested in. They're coming here in the free time and you've got the real potential to
A couple of
develop
weeks ago, there was about 6 of us in the bottom corner arguing it out over the field, and eventually the idea just got there, and
yeah.
there was 6 different ideas before we
Exactly.
at the time, but
And you can't buy that kind of advice, and you can't buy that. Just to give you another, we want to open the Fab Lab up to a wider kind of audience as possible. You may have met Lee, who's he's an Egyptologist, so he's just come back from the Valley of the Kings, and he 3D scans objects and then he prints them out. So he was working with the Fab Lab team. It's 3D scanned a Sphinx's nose that had been separated from the main Sphinx. The real one is in, I think he said, the Smithsonian Institute. Obviously we're not going to get that over. So we 3D scanned it, we built it up using the huge 3D printer next door, and then they produced this model. It was quoted £15,000 from, what's it called, is it Hobbs or something, that do 3D printing, £15,000. He ran it through here for about £115 just in materials. And that's now sat in the museum in Liverpool. But we want to bring those people in. What we said to Lee was, that's great, we will help you, we will make this happen, but we want you to then come back in and run a series of talks on Egyptology and how 3D printing and technology interact with that. because we want to get more people in it. We want to get people interested in local history. People who can come in and see the kind of potential of a facility like this.
The Egyptians were the original engineers.
Well, exactly, yeah, and it's still standing now. So I wonder if some of the stuff we're building are still
Well, yeah, back they had electricity before they
Right.
knew about it. They only had a battery system.
Go on, what were you going to say, sorry?
So in a return, simple share your skills.
Say again.
Sharing your skills.
Exactly, yeah. The dojo and the Fab Lab is all about that. It's about the community more than anything. And I think, to go back to your original question in terms of your son, for him to have that community of people, you look at the kind of, I'm reading, you may or may not be aware of him, but like Chris Boardman, who's a cyclist, and you see him on stuff. I'm reading his book now, and you kind of see the environment in which he grew up, and which there's kind of no other choice for him but to follow that path into where he's going. And you look at like Bill Gates and people like that. That route is just there. It's kind of, and if you can get your kids into that environment, then even if they end up doing nothing with engineering, the skills, those lateral thinking skills, those logical thinking skills, they're invaluable in whatever career you go into.
Dojo, first time I seen, last 3 times I've been, I didn't see you.
Right, okay. I'm usually buzzing around from one place to another.
It's only once a month.
Yeah,
it's the dojo.
Once a month, yeah. It's a huge, so usually there's around about 100 kids and the parents and stuff. The last month was a special one because it was the World Conference. The day after we had a mega dojo, there was about 300 kids here. So it was, 7,000. Yeah, it was massive. And the school is open, we're saying again to John, it's a new school, we're sat in a poor area. For us to only be open 8 till 4 in the afternoon would be a criminal waste of kind of public money. So we're open from 7 till 6, our kids are in here learning till that time on a Thursday, from 3 till 9, is it 8 or something? The Fab Lab's open, the Saturday it's open. So if you'd have been around the school today, you'll see some of our own school children involved in the dojo, leading stuff or just being in there. You'll have seen some of our kids and teachers doing extra maths or science or English in the rooms. It's not like a community centre, but it's in the heart of a community and there's exciting stuff going on.
I found that amazing when I've been walking around and I've seen literally one-to-one teaching going on Saturday.
Yeah.
Phenomenal is that. You don't see that anywhere else.
No, and I think, again, it harks back to, in some ways, in this area, we've got to provide that extra support that isn't always there. We've got to be kind of...
I actually live on the estate you're talking about, so I know exactly how some of the families on there, it's 7 o'clock, door open, goodbye, see you tonight.
Yeah.
And it really is that.
Yeah.
And they're either gone up on their own somewhere, or they're sat in the house drinking, or...
Yeah.
It is really... You keep saying it to the private area. I live on that estate. It is...
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
It is.
But you look at the school is the most oversubscribed in Warrington, and the school is transformed into...
I was just going to come to that point.
Yeah, sorry.
You see, you see kids at 6 o'clock outside the shop, waiting to buy stuff with snacks and that lot, in their uniform, immaculate, and they're here, 7. And it's not one, it's a dozen kids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, and it is you should be very proud of someone.
We are. I mean, I've been in this school for 17 years, so I've seen it over that journey over the last 5 years transform, and the Fab Lab and the STEM has been a massive driver in terms of giving the kids something to be very proud of, and giving them that pride of their area and the school, and that pride pays dividends in terms of the effort they put in and the time they put into coming into school. So it is very much it's the whole package really that kind of is valuable to us, to the school, to the kids, and to the community. So.
That's brilliant. Well done, Chris. Thank you very much. Well, fit like Kesher class.